Hello, my name is Chrissy Dickens and welcome to my business scenario assessment on Green West Secondary School for the unit HRMT19014 HR Planning, Recruitment and Selection. Here's a brief overview of how the following presentation will be conducted. On the completion of this presentation, you should have a greater understanding of the purpose behind recruitment and selection, the key issues in recruitment for organisations, potential business, ethical and legal considerations you should be aware of in the recruitment process, a critical analysis of the recruitment process at Green West Secondary School, and my recommendations to improve this process. The recruitment process is the steps taken by an organisation to attract qualified personnel to fulfil their human resource requirements. The recruitment and selection of employees are an essential feature of human resource management that must align with the organisation's values and assist in meeting organisational goals and objectives in order to maintain a competitive advantage. It is therefore necessary for organisations to establish a consistent and clearly defined recruitment process that will attract talented, capable applicants using methods that are transparent, reliable, legal, efficient, and cost-effective. The success or indeed failure of an organisation's new recruit is highly dependent on how the recruitment and selection process was managed. Research indicates that a highly structured recruitment process provides more valid results, leading to higher successful outcomes for organisations. The recruitment process consists of 5 main areas: attracting applicants, screening, interview, selection, and evaluation. For attracting applicants, the goal is to attract potential employees through job advertisements. The job advertisement must be advertised in a manner that it attracts the most suitably qualified candidates. Applicant screening should eliminate those that do not meet mandatory requirements for the position and highlight those that should move on to the interview stage. The interview should be conducted in a consistent manner that it highlights the applicant's abilities to perform the role and should assist the interviewer in determining who is a successful candidate in the selection process. The evaluation element determines if the recruitment process was successful, consistent, and to determine areas that require improvement to ensure validity and cost effectiveness in the process. The first key issue in the recruitment process is to attract suitably qualified personnel to the organisation. This can be achieved through a relevant job description and person specification provided in the job advertisement. A job description is determined by a job analysis. This is where the relevant skills, qualifications, and characteristics required of the job are evaluated and established. A job description allows the job seeker to determine if they are suitable for the position by providing information on the specific requirements necessary to be successful in the position advertised. The job description can also assist in deciding successful applicants by evaluating the information provided during the interview. Misidentifying the essential requirements needed in the job description will result in continual errors in the recruitment process, resulting in high staff turnover, additional costs, and decreased productivity. Once an effective job description has been developed, an organisation can look at the external recruitment sources available that will attract potential candidates. The current market conditions and the level of technical proficiency required in the job can determine how much money and effort should be expended to fulfil the position. It would not be a cost-effective strategy for the local cafe, for example, to advertise junior staff by taking out large advertisements in the newspaper or on the radio. It would make much more sense to place a help wanted sign in the front window. Traditionally, newspapers were the main external source to advertise positions. However, as can be seen with this infographic, with widespread use and access to the internet, organisations are far more likely to advertise online through their own website or through a job search site such as Seek to fulfil their job vacancies. Another method of advertising that is gaining traction is through social media. The huge growth in users of social media provides a wider audience to potential applicants on platforms such as LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. Hiring biases can occur at any stage in the recruitment process. However, it is more likely to occur during the interview stage, as research indicates that employers continue to engage in subjective approaches to the interview process, relying on emotions and gut feeling to influence their hiring choices. The ability to conduct an accurate and objective interview process is reliant upon proper preparation prior to the interview and the capabilities of the interviewers performing the interview. Our ability to make accurate decisions can be influenced by a variety of factors. Bias has been attributed to creating more hiring errors than any other cause. Bias in the recruiting process can have a detrimental effect on organisations. It can lead to lower staff morale, higher staff churn, lower diversity, and create reputational damage. An organisation that supports and values a diverse workforce has a competitive advantage as they have greater innovation and ability to problem solve, which can increase productivity and efficiency. Structured panel interviews have been consistently found to be the most reliable method to mitigate bias during the interview process. To reduce bias across all areas of recruitment, highly structured practices need to be embedded across all areas of the recruitment process to ensure accurate and objective hiring decisions are made. An employer brand is how an organisation is perceived by others. Mission statements, values, and vision all contribute to an organisation's branding and what they represent. This can be a source of competitive differentiation. An organisation with a high employee value proposition will be viewed as an employer of choice and influence the intentions of talent to apply, attracting more people to their website. An employer brand and reputation provide credibility to the features contained in an advertisement. A mixture of organisational and job attributes contributes in appealing to a wide pool of applicants during the recruitment process. An organisation with a low reputation is reflective of a company culture that may have low job security, dysfunctional teams, and poor management. To compensate for a weak employer brand, organisations may need to offer higher remuneration as an incentive to fulfil job vacancies. The employment interview has been a widely used and consistent method for evaluating the employability for potential applicants in the recruitment process. Although research continues to recommend the use of structured interviews to create objectivity and reduce bias, there appears to be little to no training consistently provided to individuals conducting the interview. Lack of training can also leave gaps in the interview process and create potential for irrelevant or illegal questions being asked. Training has been found to reduce bias-based judgments and reduce employment errors. Hence, it is recommended to improve the quality of hiring decisions made. A lack of a strong recruitment process can result in an organisation missing out on potential hires. The increased importance on human resources has created the need for artificial intelligence-enabled digital technologies to disrupt the traditional methods of recruitment and selection. These enabled technologies provide greater objectivity, are more accurate and efficient in their ability to sort through data to find suitable applicants. The use of these technologies is increasing. A recent survey found 39% of organisations used artificial intelligence technologies in their recruitment process, with intentions for this to double by 2023. In a competitive market, organisations must implement a streamlined recruitment and selection process to ensure desirable candidates are implemented into the workforce, as any delays can risk losing out on candidates to other organisations. Delays in the recruitment process can be costly to an organisation. Additional money must be spent finding a new recruit. Overworked staff can reduce morale and productivity, and there is a possibility that reputations can be damaged when applicants feel they have been misguided. There are significant direct and indirect costs associated with recruitment and selection. Direct costs are the tangible costs that are easily attributable to a new hire. For example, relocation expenses or medical examinations are both direct costs. Indirect costs are much more difficult to quantify. An example of an indirect cost is the time taken to interview candidates. A highly structured and efficient recruitment process can assist in keeping unnecessary costings to a minimum. Poor hiring choices can quickly escalate recruitment costs. It is estimated that the cost of replacing an employee can be up to 5 times their annual salary. There are legal requirements that must be followed when attempting to recruit and select new staff. Human resource managers must be well versed in equal employment opportunity and anti-discrimination legislation to ensure no breaches occur when jobs are advertised or during the interview process. Discrimination is considered to be the practice of disadvantaging a person based on their race, religion, sexual orientation, age, gender, disability, or family responsibility. Any organisation found to be guilty of a discriminatory action will be liable and also face public relations issues and could potentially lose customers and prevent candidates from applying in the future. The Privacy Act also applies throughout the recruitment process. Organisations must collect information that is relevant. Employers must be knowledgeable in their responsibilities and must provide employees with a current privacy policy. Organisations must take private information seriously. As can be seen with the recent Optus breaches, there have been serious reputational damage and loss of faith in their abilities to maintain privacy. The use of human resource information systems can assist in keeping data private, as only authorised personnel can access the information. Human resource managers must be aware of enterprise agreements, providing recruits with a copy of their own records, and must ensure that they are abiding by pay rates set out in the agreement. Employers must also ensure that workers have access to their rights under the Fair Work Act, which is inclusive of the National Employment Standards. Good corporate social responsibility can assist in the attraction and retention of potential recruits by engaging in the community and obtaining a positive reputation. The organisational culture and values can influence employee behaviour and motivation. An organisation should provide potential candidates with the organisation's expectations of ethical behaviour through clear, consistent reward systems and their code of conduct. Greenwest Secondary School employ a single recruitment method to advertise in a specialist regional newspaper, Time Education. To find the most suitable candidates, Greenwest need to attract a larger pool of applicants. Traditional newspaper methods of recruitment are limiting in their reach and are a high cost to advertise. Hence, the school initiating a strategy to only place one advert at a time is a cost-conscious method of recruitment. The position description should be used to encourage suitable applicants to apply and should support the selection criteria. The methods used to apply for the position, that is, contacting the school for the application package and then needing to return an application form back to the school, is a time-consuming process. Greenwest will be losing out on potential candidates that prefer web-based job searches. Research indicates that candidates view the use of technology favourably and were more likely to complete an application when organisations incorporate the use of technology in their recruitment. Research indicates that success rates of finding the best fit for positions improve through good interview preparation. Panellists should familiarise themselves with the applications prior to the interview. Questions should be agreed upon and developed by the interview panel based on the critical competencies required of the job and the company values prior to the commencement of the interview process. Interview panellists should be provided with regular training of the interview process to ensure standardised questioning is used, that bad habits are not developed, and equitable recruitment methods are being used. Unstructured interviews can lead to discriminatory questions and bias. The structured interview format has been proven to enhance hiring outcomes. Structured interviews reduce biases that can occur throughout the interview. Therefore, structured interviews increase objectivity and validity of the interview process as questions and question order are predetermined, allowing improved comparisons between applicants and limiting opportunities for illegal questions to be asked. Interview panellists need a predetermined system of making observations of candidates. Trying to memorise candidate responses is too difficult and can introduce bias into the interview process. The use of anchored rating scales and discrete note-taking demonstrates equitable hiring practices as interviewers have justification of the candidate evaluations. Pre-employment tests that are used as part of the selection process should only be conducted when they are relevant to the job content and can provide an objective, standardised measure of an applicant's skills and competencies. Although these tests provide no significant weighting on their own, when used in conjunction with background checks and interviews, they can provide a holistic overview of an applicant's abilities. The costs involved in administering these tests can be a deterrent. However, their use has been attributed to increased job performance and retention rates to successful applicants. Background checks are a critical element of the selection process and can assist in validating an applicant's competencies, work experience, and job performance. In making the selection decision, data from all tools used in the recruitment process should be collated so that an objective decision can be made. The applicant should be informed in the interview of the timeframe required to decide on the successful applicant. There is a delicate balance between making a spur-of-the-moment decision and allowing the process to drag on and risk losing a talented applicant to another school. The provision of feedback is not only courteous, but it also demonstrates to applicants that the school values their time and effort in applying for a position. Useful feedback can also contribute to the school's reputation as a valued employer. I would recommend the following implementations to improve the recruitment process at Greenwest. The school need to improve their job advertising practices by posting jobs online through their own website and on job search websites. The school will improve the calibre of candidates by using position descriptions and selection criteria throughout the recruitment process. The school need to implement structured interviews, providing training to those involved in the interview and providing time to properly prepare for the interview. The use of anchored rating scales to score applicants in the interview will reduce bias and help compare between applicants. Implementing pre-employment tests can help provide a clearer indication of a candidate's capabilities. Informing applicants of timeframes for decision-making can provide panelists time to discuss merits of each applicant. By not informing applicants of a decision on the same day, applicants that may have been rejected can be trained and onboarded if successful applicants reject an offer of employment. Providing applicants with useful feedback assists applicants to improve and improves the reputation and branding of the school. As you can see, there are 5 steps in the recruitment process with key issues that organisations need to be aware of, as they can be detrimental in finding the best fit between applicant and organisation. Organisations need to be aware of legal and ethical considerations that can make them liable and damage their reputation for future applicants wanting to apply. Green West School have several areas where their recruitment process is poorly developed. Therefore, I have outlined 9 recommendations to improve their recruitment process. Thank you for watching my presentation.